Now, Hazel Alpaca and I have got a lot to tell you this week, so buckle in and off we go. The first big ticket item this week was obviously cereals at Diddley Squat Farm. Now, I won't go on too much about it because you must have seen loads on the socials, or you were there, or you're not that interested. But two things that I really wanted to pick up on was Niab soil hole. And this is a hole that's been dug very precisely with very steep vertical sides, and it's almost as deep as I am tall, and you can see this amazing profile of the roots with wheat, with high and low nitrogen treatment, with herbal lays, with all different cereals, and you can see how different treatments and indeed different crops have different rooting systems. Soil profile, very interesting, never seen that before, which is about, 30 centimetres of soil, cultivatable soil, and below that just these plates of limestone. And it looks solid, but actually you can see the roots have worked their way through, just amazing. And finding kind of little holes where the earthworms have made channels, where the roots have found a path of least resistance. So very insightful, very interesting in the whole. And I was on a panel for the Women in Food and Farming with Varian Bliss, Louise Penn, chaired by Danielle Robb. And we were asked lots of questions and talked about lots of things. And one of them was around the USP of agri-tech businesses and how to really succeed. And we talked about this sort of differentiating point. And Varian came out with just a lovely phrase when exhorting these agri-tech companies to really think about their USP, is to look at a point of difference rather than a pointless difference. And I think that's really important. We can probably all resonate with that when we all get in love with technology. Huge apologies to all the people that I wanted to come and see but didn't get to. So Barenbrug and Rothamsted and Germain's and X-Farm and all those people I kind of waved as I went past and said I'd come back, and I didn't get a chance to. But I hope you had a great show. Okay, that's enough for cereals. So this week it was also the Festival of Fresh that was hosted at G's, and my colleague Kate Brunswick went to that. No show by the minister, meh, whatever. But apparently it was a great day. Lots of discussions around things like streamlining and unifying audit in the fresh produce supply chain. Simon Pearson talked about robotics and automation, and I gather a fantastic tour of the pack house as well. And a discussion about UPF, ultra-processed foods. And I just wanted to draw your attention, if you haven't come across it already, UK Research and Innovation with other partners commissioned a report, a public dialogue around ultra-processed foods. And it's really worth a look, actually. These public dialogues are a very important mechanism for policymakers to gauge the kind of mood music. And Anne Ferguson-Smith, who's the executive chair of BBSRC, wrote the foreword for this report. And she talks about how the findings of it will help inform policy programmes and research. So do take a look at that. I'll put a link in the chat, in the comments below this post. What else? Right, our Agri-Tech Meets SPACE is our next event coming up. I think it's the 16th of July. So our Agri-Tech Meets ... series. We did Agri-Tech Meets Navigation, doing Agri-Tech Meets SPACE. It will be online, where we're looking at how space technologies are impacting agri-tech. So you'll be very welcome to that. Free to our members, small charge for non-members. What else has been going on? Right, well, there has been the announcement yesterday, when is it? Thursday, yesterday, of the budget for the Sustainable Farming Incentive. And drum roll, it's 240 million. So considering that the cap is 100,000 per farm, you do the math. And as they say, it's not going to be huge amounts of money available. In fact, it's probably going to be falling short by quite some significant amount. So good that it's been announced. Window 1 is opening for small farms and those that don't have an environmental land management revenue stream. That's opening in a few weeks, and then later in the year it will be for other farms. So yeah, 240 million. Need to spend it wisely. Okay, that will do for now. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for joining us for this week's Agri-Tech Update. Subscribe, share and stay connected. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter to get the latest innovations straight into your inbox. See you next week.